Hotapu everyone. I wish to finally address an issue brought to my awareness many times during lectures or in my classes about marijuana, alcohol, and drug use. Many ask me, what is the spiritual view about marijuana, alcohol, and drug use? Or any kind of addiction? What is addiction from a spiritual angle? Addiction is an aberration of who you are. Addiction means your natural energies are not flowing properly. They're knotted. They're bound up. If you do marijuana, drink booze, which includes wine, and if you do drugs, this is a signal to true spiritual masters of your lack of divinity. Many people have said things like, oh, I do the marijuana, I get low. Many call it getting high, I call it getting low, because clearly you're going into the lower consciousness, which appears like you're going higher, but that's an inverse delusion. So many people who get low say, oh, I do the evil weed and it makes me more open, more relaxed, more free. Free? You are addicted to pleasure. Freedom means you're not controlled by pain nor pleasure. Neither dictates your behavior or your next action. But when a person says, oh, I need to have a drink, it's often because they're experiencing some discomfort. Or, oh, I have to get low. It's often because they're experiencing boredom or discomfort and emotion. And their strategy for getting out of the emotion is to chemically alter it, to go into an escapism, so the pain and the discomfort are not registered. How is that strong? That is so weak. That is so cowardice. So the use of these substances is the supreme cowardice. And those who are true spiritual masters see that clearly. So there'll be no justifying of weed, the devil's weed, and cigarettes, and all these drugs and alcohol in the name of spirituality. No true spiritual system leading you towards the truth of your divinity will encourage, sanction, or justify on any level marijuana, drugs, and alcohol. And by the way, saying that alcohol and drugs is two separate categories is a trick used by media, because alcohol is a drug. It is a drug. But by giving the word alcohol, it makes it sound like it's not really a drug. So it's really all drugs. Liquid drugs, which includes liquor, and the devil's weed, which people smoke to get low life, and of course the harder drugs, crack, cocaine, Molly, battery, acid. I don't know what people are doing, but whatever it is not natural. It is in no way divine, and don't delude yourself and don't besmirch the true, clean spiritual paths with this rhetoric that, oh, it makes you more spiritual. It is a sign of great, great weakness of character. It never leads to a good place. The Kamau showed addiction by this snake here, Apop, a coiled snake. This is the serpent of pure evil. The word Apop shown here. Apop means doubly deceiving. The word op means to calculate, to manipulate. His name is Op or Apop, which means doubly deceiving, the doubly deceptive one, and refers to a stressed brain wave. This is actually the way the Kamau showed a stressed spiking brain wave that happens during stress or fear or loss or death. But what struck me when I went to meditate on the question about alcohol and drugs and addiction, in the meditation, he appeared as a rope. And clearly this could be seen as a kind of rope with coils. So I have these series of ropes on the image on the screen here to show you how addiction works, how drugs really work. A pop is actually a boa constrictor, meaning that when you start with weed, the devil's weed, and you begin, I call the devil's vomit, which is alcohol, wine, liquor, booze, the devil's vomit. When you take the devil's weed or you drink the devil's vomit, it's like this. Oh, it's a lot of fun. It's like a pink little thing. Look, a pink little area of fun and colors, and oh, how pretty. But it's really a trap. And as you do more and more of those aberrations, your life becomes more coarse like this rope. You become less social. You become a lot of people who do the devil's weed become very unfocused in many ways. They are non-committal in many ways. They're impractical and space cadets, and often paranoid. So your life begins to unravel like this. It becomes more coarse, more wild, more disorderly. And note the knot gets tighter, meaning the addiction begins to clamp on you like a boa constrictor, like a serpent. In this knot, it gets even more complex. Your life becomes more problematic. You do more and more drugs because you can't deal with more and more pressures. You begin to become meaner. You hit your children. You yell at your wife or husband or your lover. You don't go to work. You become sloppy on the job. And then things get more and more knotted. Then it becomes a tight knot like this, where you're in there trying to get out and there's no motion. So you do more drugs, you drink more booze to release yourself from the coiled grip of this python, this boa constrictor, I should say. And in the end, you are in the middle of this knot where it's just an endless loop of pain and escape. Pain, you're in pain, you must escape. You're in pain, you must escape. You're in pain, you must escape. So you're totally not free. You're totally a slave to pain and escapism. You can't get out of it. And you make 1,001 clever calculations, pop, clever deceptions as to why you do the marijuana, why you've got to smoke cigarettes and do drugs and drink, why I have to have a drink. You'll create up many clever rationalizations to justify the fact that you're too weak to handle pain in a mature adult fashion. I want to call it out. I want to be a voice against this wicked trend of legalizing more and more toxins. Alcohol should not be a legal drug. It's a very dangerous substance. This is the devil's vomit. It ruins marriages, gives people sickness. It destroys relationships, creates abuse in homes, battery, child abuse, anger issues, violence, wars. It is so evil. And then marijuana, the devil's weed, where people get low, and then the crack cocaine. All these things do not lead to good places in the spirit of humanity. So I am completely anti-marijuana, anti-alcohol, anti-drugs, anti-booze. The question becomes, so then how do you have fun? That is the golden ticket question. If you don't know your spirit, because the solution out of drugs and alcohol is this God, Tim, spelled here, which means my deepest nature, which is free. Tim means nothing. I am no thing. I am what's possible. I am the possibility of being calm when this trigger happens. He's killing a pop. Your deepest spirituality gets you out of the knot of your addiction and drug use. Without spirituality, you will be weak of character and succumb to the evil coils of a pop, going from pain to escapism and back again forever. Long live True spirituality, I fight to maintain the name and purity of true spirituality, not like many that say they use drugs for their spiritual nature, or peyote, or whatever some shamans do. Those are low level levels of spirituality. Do not be fooled by the deceiver. True spirituality uses your breath, words of power, meditation, organic natural things from within you to increase your creativity, to free you from stress, to make you open-minded and relaxed. TEM means I am already relaxed from the beginning, but only true spiritual training can take you to TEM. Long live the protection of the true spiritual systems of Africa. Dwawen Hotepu.